Connect with Elliot in the Morning on Twitter at EITM Online.
Okay, we can get rid of this song now. This is what makes me so frustrated about my wife. She's like, why would you put that in there? It's going to confuse people. I go, not people that are cool. Nerds like you get confused. Oh, I bet you're all in a tailspin because they don't play it at your cardio bar. $400 a month, cardio bar.
I don't even know what a cardio bar
Who
is.
knows? It's Mary Kate and Ashley. It's just girls doing, not girls.
It's
I'm
like
sure
that
they're
ballet workout, isn't
ballet
it?
workout.
Yeah.
And so Leanne she just doesn't get it. Well, you know, I'm so ready for my second wife. My problem is I go too far to the other side, and I'd go just cool and getting it, and then she'd be like, did you Snapchat that? And I was like, I still don't know how to work Snapchat. Ugh, you're so old, Bert. I really don't know how to work Snapchat. I wish I did. It seems like it's cool. I don't get it. I thought it was just for sending pictures of your junk to people. You know you're not allowed to do that? Like just text
as a rule,
pictures?
yes.
Yeah.
As a rule, you're not supposed to do
But
that.
I was breaking that rule for a very long time. I did not know that. Someone needs to put down the rules.
But wait, who are you? Wait,
Tom Segura.
Well, you don't send pictures to Leanne while you're on the road, do you?
No. She doesn't want to see the thing in person. You think she wants to see it?
No, but you were saying you're down. You look good.
I feel good. I'm down 22 pounds. I was the fattest. When I came in here last, I think the last time I came in here, I was close to the fattest I've ever been.
Right.
Was I?
Well, I don't know the fattest you've ever been.
I only know because
you were more than that.
I was 260. Oh, let's just write it at that. Okay. That's when they had to double up my blood pressure medicine and give me like
Did
another.
they really?
Yeah, they were like, take this too. And now I'm taking both. My blood pressure is like a 12-year-old girl's. Like I have the best blood pressure in the world. But
wait, so I guess the last time we saw you was
it was depressing. That's all I know. It was everything about me was depressing at that time. So and this is me, not you. If you're fat and you like it, that's great.
Right.
But when I'm fat, I do get depressed. I feel like jolly and have a good time and I drink, but then I'm really drinking and this is his tail catching its catching his tail because I don't go to the gym and I'm not working out.
Right.
And I feel like I'm having a good time, but it takes like a month off the road to get my stuff together.
Well, I was going to say that was when because we saw you beforehand, but you did that you took the month of December off.
Took December off. It was the best thing I ever did.
Honestly, when you first said that you were taking December off, I got really concerned. Not about your health.
Yeah.
I thought like you had like problems at home.
Oh no.
That's where my concern went to. I was like, uh-oh.
No, that's the saddest part about this is I have a really regular home life. I'm not like all the craziness I do on the road never leaks back into my home life.
Right.
But no, my wife is really grounded. I joke around about her. Obviously, I love her. But she was like, you need to take a month off. And I was like, well, I can't afford to do that. She's like, yeah, you can. You can. And if you don't, you'll die.
Right.
Because the thing is like, especially on the road and, doing Travel Channel and stand up at the same time, I was like...
You were always traveling.
I was always traveling, always on a plane, always in a hotel, never waking up in the same place. It's just this, literally, like I listened to Billy Joel, he's talking about, I'm just another face in Zanzibar. No, you haven't. I've been there. I was there a couple months ago. Zanzibar, if you're in Zanzibar, Billy Joel, the entire Muslim community is staring at you. You're not another face, Billy Joel. I promise you on my heart, you're standing out like a Jew in Zanzibar. That's so frustrating. But yeah, it's So anyway,
but did it drive you nuts not being on the road for a month though?
At first.
How long has it been since you have not been on the road for a month?
11 years.
Has it really?
11 years.
God.
Right before Georgia was born, I took a month off so I could be there for her birth.
Right.
And that was the longest I've ever been home. My kids have never seen me home that long. It was insane. Like I'd walk them to school every day, and they'd just be like, everyone got tired of me.
Right.
Like, I really don't fit into that family.
No, I was going to say, because,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, everybody has their thing. You go on the road, you're doing your stand-up. Leanne's
Yeah.
at home. The kids are doing their thing. All of a sudden, you're the weird part that's in.
Oh, dude, they don't, like, because I like to go out. I like to have a good time. I like to bring in all the families. My wife's like, you got to slow it down. Like, we just hang out. We just eat pizza and go to bed. And I'm like, no, we're inviting the Hayslips over. We're having wine, right? Come on. We got Monday Night Football. What are we talking about, guys? What are you guys, losers? Yeah, and I was like, and I wasn't drinking. I was just working out, and I was posting like vlogs. That's when I got
2
into
seconds
vlog.
ago, you went with, aren't we having wine?
Yeah,
That is drinking.
Okay, my drinking is different than your drinking. Like a glass.
He drinks
of wine,
on the treadmill.
a couple glasses of wine's not drinking. A handle of Tito's is drinking. Like, if I stay to wine, I'm fine. Beer, I'm okay. I actually lost the taste for beer over that month. I didn't drink beer at all.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't until last night's flight that I was like, I kind of want a beer.
Really?
Yeah, I just, and because I haven't been eating bread. So then last night I was like, I want a loaf of bread.
And a beer.
And beer. And so I just murdered beers on the flight last night.
Oh, because now I was going to say, I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. This is perfect. Last night I got to my hotel room, the Even Hotel, which is fantastic. I love it. It's right next to.
Oh, no, I know exactly where it is.
It's right there, yeah.
You love it?
I love it. Everyone else dislikes it.
Did you use like the yoga ball and all that stuff?
No, I just watched Jen from The Biggest Loser work out the entire time.
Okay.
She has got the most insane legs and thighs. Like, literally, I always say to my wife, that is what you should look like. She has the most insane body. And I know it's a little bit like a dude, but I'm cool with it. I don't mind. I'm sure she does cycles.
No, you know what the problem is with the Even hotels that we stay there because everything is miserable. Like when we got pounded with snow, what was that, a week ago,
Yeah.
week and a half ago? That's where you had. Kaylee was there for 4 days.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but she couldn't
I
get home.
loved it. I loved it. I love it. It's like the clean feel, and it feels like you're a
That
Buddhist.
clean feel where everybody's sweating all over the floor.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of creepy that everyone's sweating aggressively in their room. I never really thought about that. And then laying in bed naked like I would. Yeah, now that you say that, that's disgusting.
Yes, of course it is.
Ugh.
Because nobody's taking out that little squeeze bottle and like, oh, you know what? Let me squeeze out. Let me clean up the floor.
No, there was a squeeze bottle? Huh. Guess I left my room sweaty. Doing curls and squats last night because I couldn't find wine. I got in late last night.
When did you get in?
I got like 11 o'clock, and they were like, we stopped serving at 11. And I was like, I go, can't you do me a solid?
You should have walked next door. There's a whole cabinet here for you.
Yeah, if I had broken into iHeartRadio and they'd found me like a raccoon in my man cave. Well, I'm sorry, I know I left a bottle up here last time. No, listen, I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
But you dropped 22. That's good.
Yeah, I dropped 22. And not really doing much. Honestly, just cutting out bread. That's it.
So wait a minute. If you went completely, no. So you've been back out going for a month. Though.
No. Yeah, I've been on and off, like
Right.
like regular. Like I'm just not in production. I won't be in production probably until June.
What is in production? What is that?
In shooting a TV show.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So I won't be shooting a TV show again until probably June. So I'm doing an hour special April 1st. So I'm building up for that. So I'll go a little hard before April 1st to get ready for the special.
Right.
And then I'll just be all willy-nilly.
Wait, where are you doing the special?
Irvine. I'm not allowed to talk about it, but Irvine. For Showtime. They were like, let us be the ones to talk about it. And I was like, good luck. You have no idea how hard it is for me to keep a secret.
Wait, so is that not supposed to be out?
No.
Oh.
They were like, we'd like to draw up a meme. We'd like to have like a release thing. And I was like, well, okay, sure. Good luck with that, guys. I can tell you which of my wife's friends has herpes also.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, it's Jennifer.
Jesus.
That's the best part of getting married is finding out all your wife's friends have herpes.
You know what's funny though? Jackie has one friend that has
I thought you were going to say Jackie has herpes. By the way, I wouldn't mind herpes right now. Like, it would be more of a commitment with my wife. Where's she going to go? She's going to have a conversation before she has sex with a guy. She's not going to do that. She knows I won't do it. I hate intimacy. I hate confrontation. I can't imagine having to say, not only am I married. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Just once a year picking something. It sounds horrible, Jackie, or herpes, you were saying?
No, but she has a friend who has herpes.
Yeah.
But, got it late, long after she was married.
How? That's real?
Sat dormant. Yeah, sat dormant in her system. But she got into a big fight with her husband because she was like, all of a sudden, she started getting the explosions on the Kujini.
Up.
And she got really mad at her husband. Was like, who are you sleeping with? and now you've given me herpes.
There is no. Oh, let me tell you something. There is no convincing someone who gets a venereal disease. Because I shouldn't talk about this, but I don't care. I got the clap in college. I don't like talking about this, but you know what? If this helps break down those stereotypes of what it is like, so breaking out, clap lives matter. And so my girlfriend gave it to me. She slept with my best friend. She gave it to me. I came back from Russia.
Wait, she slept with your best friend?
Yes.
And that's how she got it?
And numerous other dudes, I think. From what I've been told, there was a plethora. And so I got it. I went to the doctor. And the doctor's like,
how did you know you had it?
Oh, you know. It literally feels like someone takes a baseball bat to your bladder when you go to the bathroom. Like,
so it's not like you're all itchy and scratchy.
No, that's crabs.
Oh, yes.
Claps,
all right, you had the clap. Okay,
it's like,
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Did you ever have crabs?
No, never did.
Oh,
but I don't have pubic hair, so how would I know? So those guys have nowhere to go but the hair on my feet. So what was that? Where was I?
So you felt like somebody was taking a bat.
I go to the doctor.
You get back from Russia.
I go to the doctor.
Right.
And he goes, I go, yeah, I'm having this painful sensation when I urinate. He's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad? And I go, like, I'm terrified to go to the bathroom. And he was like, really? And he goes, you got the clap. I was like, no, that's impossible. I have a girlfriend. And he was like, okay. And I'm sitting on the table. And he goes, have you cheated? Did you cheat on her? And I was like, no. And he was like, are you lying to me? I said, he goes, I don't care. I go, no, I really didn't. He goes, and she's cheating on you. I go, no, that's impossible. And he goes, no, that's exactly what's happening. By the way, he's like a Trapper John MD from Florida State. We're at Florida State. And I go, no, that's impossible. He goes, well, let me ask you a question. I'll never forget this, the wording of this. I'm going to have to change it a tad bit. But he goes, let me ask you a question. When you go to a bar, do you and your junk split up to cover more territory? I go, no. He goes, so you hang out with your junk all the time? I said, yeah. And he goes, so your junk's never, like, gone off and had sex with someone without you knowing? And I said, no. And he goes, then your girlfriend's cheating on you, man. I go, okay. I go, you sure? He goes, listen, there's no way you get this unless you get it from someone else. There's no way she got it unless she got it from someone else. She is cheating on you. And I'm like, it's impossible. I go back to her. I'm like, I got the clap. She's like, are you cheating on me? And at that moment, I was like, she is such a lying whore. And I literally was like, by the way, at this time, and I don't know if you know this, but I'd only slept with 2 people in my life.
Yeah, well, you had one really, really long-term girlfriend.
Yeah, this is the one.
Oh, this is her.
This is the one. 5 years. We talked about, like, marriage and stuff. Thank God I didn't marry this whore. And so after a couple of these, I'll tell you her name, too, and you can find her on Facebook and tell me what's going on in her life. She won't accept my friend request. So like the other night I was in the shower and I was like, I bet she's on Instagram. And I was like, I never even thought about Instagram. But she isn't. So I can tell you even a better story about her after this. But so then I go, listen, I just went to the doctor. I have the clap. Oh, the best part is I go, that's impossible to the doctor. And he goes, well, I can test you for it, but I can also just give you the pills and not test you for it.
Right.
I said, you have to test me for it because I don't believe you.
Right.
So he's like, you're not going to like this.
What's the test? Is the test in
the Q-tip?
Yeah. Oh, in the penis hole.
Urethral.
Yeah.
And I remember he said,
when my friend Sam had that done, he said it was like unbelievable pain.
Oh, he said
burns like crazy.
He said, brace yourself. And I was like, are you serious? He said, grab onto the side of the bed.
Right.
The thing. This is going to hurt. And I was
so
like,
does he just kind of do that? And
I remember it. My junk had never looked so sad. It looked like the pig from Charlotte's Web at the end. Like, wait, we go to slaughter? And he just grabbed it and then poked it. And
right.
I remember that test was worse than the clap. And I was like, for a week, I was like, I could feel it. And then I told her, I was like, listen, I think you got the clap too. She's like, that's impossible. I said, well, I got it from somebody. And I was like, me and my junk don't split up at bars, okay? She was like, I haven't cheated on you. You must be cheating on me. And I was like, are you serious right now? I go, listen, I know that I haven't cheated on, and I was looking at her. I remember that look on my face, and that's what her husband must have done. It's like, no, or she must have done to her husband. I know I haven't slept with anybody. I know that. Like, you can't outlie me. Like,
right.
This is one way. This ends one way, and that's you admitting it. She's like, I don't know. And then my buddy Pat Fagan caught her and my buddy making out in a car, and he told her, you better tell him today or I'm telling him. I grew up with Pat Fagan. And then she came to me and she's like, okay, I did kiss the guy. And I go, what part of his body? Because... And then what did you like? Just like a snake bite? Just grab the venom and spit it into your, like, what? Like, how does this work? And then slowly it started unfolding. Okay, we had sex once. Okay, we dated all summer. Okay, it was 10 guys. And I was like, and then I was a mess. I remember that was when I also started drinking heavily. I remember that first night I found out I was hurt. I was so hurt. Right. I remember I went to Clint Munn's house. Clint had OCD, and we had just figured it out what it was. But before we were just messing with him. Like, Clint, how many tiles do you think are in the bathroom? And he's like, good question, Bert. And so Mike Osborne, who's just a meathead from Chicago, I remember him sitting across the thing from me, and he was like, "Yeah, this really sucks, man. I'm sorry that happened to you." And I was like, "Yeah." I go, "It hurts really bad. Like, I feel really sad right now." And he was like, "Well, nothing for nothing. I know that if you drink, it goes away." And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "I mean, that's probably not the healthiest advice." And I was like, "Okay." And I swear to God, I really want to say that's number one, the reason I never really brought up the machine story much, because right when I got back from Russia, this was my reality, is that this chick cheated on me with my best friend. I mean, my best friend. And
did you stay friends with him? I
talk to him now.
Right.
Like, the thing is, it was the best thing that happened in my life, because right around that time, I came back from Russia, and I realized I ran into The State, the TV show The State, in Greece. And I decided in Europe, I was like, I am funny. I can be funny around strangers. I think I'm going to be a comedian. And the morning of the Miami game, and we had gotten back, we had tried to patch things up. We had tried to figure it out. She tried to kill herself. And so, listen, you wanted the truth, or I can lie to you? Oh, you know what? She's doing good. She's got a scrapbooking party now. She was an actress. She was an actress, and she was in the School of Theater at Florida State, which is really a prestigious school of theater, oddly enough. And I told her in her bed, right before the Miami game, I said, I think I want to be a comedian. And she looked at me and she went, "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry that comedians are like smart funny. You're dumb funny." And I was like, "I am?" She's like, "Yeah, like your funny isn't funny for comedians, honey. They have to be like really smart. You'll never be a comedian. I'm sorry." And I was like, "Oh, note to self, never tell anyone my dreams again." And now she is working on off Broadway in New York. She's married another dude in my fraternity, who, by the way, has herpes. I'm almost certain. I don't know about that. One of his ex-girlfriends told me. And so, I know, being dead serious. Isn't that crazy how this works? And so, and then she is now like kind of like not doing anything really in theater. She's doing like little like playhouse things, and still trying to make it in theater at 42, 45, whatever she is. And I've been on TV for 17 years. I'm not saying that I'm like the end all be all in art, but you know, I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian, and my wife doesn't cheat on me. I made it, really. Yeah. I can't believe we told that story. I haven't even started drinking yet. This is going to be a fun show today, everybody. Bert, talk about getting the clap. Oh.
All right, let me do this. Let me take a quick break. We'll come back. Bert Kreischer is with us. We have the Call In Sick to Work show. That starts at noon. Bert will be in Richmond this weekend. You get one show tonight, 2 shows tomorrow night, 2 shows Saturday at the Richmond Funny Bone, richmond.funnybone.com. One quick break. More with Bert Kreischer next.
Elliott in the morning.
You know where you get a real sense that you're a Florida State kid?
Where?
The vlogs.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, because
Why?
it's you. Like, in one of them, you're wearing something that says Seminoles, but not even that. But it's like shorts. Like, you're at the house. You've got people coming over. Yeah. So it's shorts, T-shirt. You've never got a pair of shoes on. And it's like just rolled up on the couch with like your big feet just pointing at the camera. Doesn't matter what's going on. No shoes on. Like, you know what? We're just hanging out in the sun. Everything's good. And I realize it's California, but you look like total Florida beach kid.
Dude, that stuff is ingrained in you. I mean, to this day, I get depressed if my feet don't look attractive. That's a Florida thing. Dude, I remember Jennifer Stevens, first girl, 7th grade. I could see she had tan feet. The tan went from her knee to her calf to her foot, all the same color. And I remember being like, oh, turns out I have a foot fetish. 7th grade, how am I going to handle this? She'd dangle. I shouldn't say this because she's married to my good friend and my parents are next door neighbors. But she would dangle her shoe on the tip of her foot.
Right.
Oh, Nell Rudolph listens to this. Nell's in here. Yeah, Nell's in Richmond. She's listening to this right now. Nell knows Jennifer. And so she dangled her foot, and I just remember being in 7th grade being like, what? And then me came in. All my friends were like, you'd see a kid from the north come down. Dave Johnson came from Chicago.
Right.
And we went to the beach, and he had shoes on. We were like, oh, my God. That's like saying the N-word in Florida. Like, actually, saying the N-word in Florida is like saying the N-word in Florida. It's actually cooler to say it, probably. I don't mean to crap on my state, but it wasn't the most socially progressive place in the world. I remember watching a race war when I was in 1st grade and my neighborhood unfold, and I was just like, it was over my football. It was so bad. So yeah,
but wearing shoes to the beach.
Wear shoes to the beach. Look, you did not wear shoes to the beach. You did not wear a shirt to the beach. You had sun deck, sun breeches, jams, whatever like cool pants were then.
Right.
And you just and never had elastic. That's a big thing. You don't have elastic. Elastics for fat people. You have button. It's button and they hang on your hip bones. This is when I was skinny. Now they'd be hanging, but they'd be like holding on for dear life. Never wear shoes to the beach. Never. Oh my God! And flip flops. You don't wear like Tevas. You wear flip flops like rainbows. Or I have a really good pair right now called Free Waters.
Right.
If you want really great flip flops, trust me, I'm a connoisseur on flip flops. These Free Water flip flops are the best flip flops made. They really are. I'm being dead serious. I don't have a sponsor, but like Free Water flip flops. If you want good flip flops, Free Water flip flops.
Can I ask you something though about the? Because I do like your vlogs. I enjoy
Thank you.
them very
Do you like
much.
that? I'm posting a new one right now. I'm trying to upload it in your office.
Right.
But great internet here. What is it? 1997. I linked into Prodigy. Is that?
But you posted one of them on January 7th. You have a Christmas tree lit up in your backyard.
Yeah, I think it's still there. I think it's still there.
Let's take that down.
You know what? I like. I'm a man of celebration. I'm the Cam Newton of comedy, with a Peyton Manning body.
The other thing that you need to do if you're going to give people bring them to your house.
Yeah.
Would it kill you to clean up some of the dog crap on the?
Can you see that?
You highlight
At
it.
what point you talk about you think you stepped in it?
When?
It's around the beach chair.
One
that
of
your
your-
kid's
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
in.
You're helping her sip water, and you're like, "Wow, there's a lot of dog crap here. I think I stepped in it."
I remember that, yeah. That was freshly stepped in, so you can't expect me to clean that up. Look, there's a lot of things I don't do. I talked about to my therapist about this the other day. I did the dishes.
Is that really your therapist on the computer?
Oh, yeah.
You have an online therapist?
Yeah. And he's sexist, which is so much fun. When you have a sexist therapist and you complain about your wife, he's like, well, you know what? Tell her to start lifting her weight around there. And you're like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I said to him the other day, I did the dishes, and Leanne didn't thank me.
Right.
And as soon as I said it, I thought, I don't thank her for doing the dishes.
Right.
Like, maybe I shouldn't expect a thank you. Maybe I should just do the dishes. My therapist was like, well, does she ever thank you for bringing home money? I was like, good point. Way to go. Yeah, let's get me into a spiral. No, she's never said thank you once. And then I'm at dinner looking at everyone using silverware going, no one's going to say thank you for forks? Like, no one's going to say, because I make the forks. I get every reason when we don't eat like animals with our hands is because of Dad. It's Dad. I'm watching Isla wipe her butt. I'm going, that's cash. Those are dollar bills. It is a depreciated dollar bill that she's just wiping with. And so, he gets in my head. and yeah.
And the other one that's in there that I like is the new improved. And I remember you told us this once, and I don't remember why. But the newly redone chicken coop.
Yeah.
But I don't remember why you. And I know you told us, but I don't remember why you got chickens at the house.
Because my wife's a redneck. That's it, technically. honestly, she went to Rogan's house, and Rogan's wife had chickens, and Leanne thought that was a brilliant idea because they all went into the chicken coop and played with chickens. But Rogan lives on a mansion,
Right.
and so he's got a legit chicken coop that we would actually live in as a family. Like it is a 2-story, it is a massive chicken coop.
Right.
You can walk in it, play with the chicken, and walk out of it. And then Leanne bought this hack chicken coop. That basically the chickens, it was like being in the hole.
Right.
And so she had to let them out all the time. And then she was like, well, I need to add on. And so then she took a whole side of our fence up and built this massive chicken coop.
It's huge.
It's massive. And then she just guessed how big she wanted it to be and then bought the wood. And then you see, she puts it up in the vlog and she goes, how's that look? I'm like, it takes up the entire backyard. And she's like, well, what should I do? She's already built it. Nothing. Do nothing. Don't even consult me. I don't have a voice in this family. You're welcome for the forks.
But at one point, the chickens are inside the man cave.
They live. Okay. Okay. So when you get little baby chicks, they've got to be like at like 80 degrees or something. They got to stay warm. So
Right.
Leanne didn't want to put it in the garage because there's not a heater in the garage. There's a heater in the man cave. But you also got to put down this like powder so that they don't get mites. So Leanne puts this powder down and puts them in the man cave in like a little cage.
Right.
Well, the chicks are learning to spreading their wings, right? That's the term, spreading their wings. And so they start flapping this powder around. All of a sudden, I go in the man cave one day, and it looks like my man cave's been antiqued. It's just all powdered. And I go, hey, is this from the chicks? And she's like, oh, I'll clean it up when they get older. And I was like, and I threw a temper tantrum. I was like, why is it my stuff that's got to be ruined? And so they were raised in the man cave. So when they see the man cave, they think that's their home. So I literally have to sit in the man cave with Priscilla so they won't come in. They come in the man cave, they go to the back. Chicken crap is not scared of anything, okay? It goes everywhere. They crap everywhere in my man cave.
Right.
And they just come walking in and just sitting on the couch, just staring at you. Yeah, I watched them fight a squirrel the other day. It was hilarious. So now I put walnuts or not pecans, almonds.
Right.
I put almonds all over the backyard so the squirrels want to come get the almonds, and the chickens go after the squirrels. It's so much fun. They're not going to do anything to each other, but just watching chickens chase squirrels, that could be a YouTube channel. That could be like cucumbers and cats. It's pretty fun. Yeah. Does
anybody use the trampoline?
No. You know what? No one uses the swing set either. I'm about to tell my kids, because we're adding on to the house, and so it's either that or, dude, growing up's a nightmare. Like, we're going to add on to the house, and we're going to because of the man cave, because we love the man cave so much,
right.
We don't want to leave the house. And my daughters can't imagine living somewhere else. Well, you've done it before. It's fine. You get over it. Do you remember where we lived before? No. Oh, we lived there twice. So we're adding on to the house, and so we told the girls to get rid of the trampoline. And they have a nightmare. Oh, I can't. This is our trampoline. I have so many memories here. Oh, you make new memories. and so then I go, let's tear down the thing. And so the girls were like, hey, if you have kids in the car, lower the radio for the next 15 seconds.
Right.
Okay, everyone? All right? So I go, girls, we're going to tear down the swing set. And they go, Daddy, we can't. And I said, no, we can. She goes, that's the last thing Santa bought us. And I went, I bought it. And the girls were like, what? And I said, I bought it with Santa. We bought it together. We went in on it. We put it on layaway. Oh, man, did I really just ruin that? You're 11. Does your kid still believe? Oh, you're Jewish. What are you talking about? Did you guys do that?
We do Christmas. Because Jackie's not a Jew.
No, did she? But did you get her to believe in Santa?
Yeah, they're in.
Oh, they're in.
Yeah, they're in.
Still at 11?
Yeah, hang it in there.
George is hanging in there by a thread.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I had to sneak one past her.
Well, you ruined it with the swing set.
Yeah. Oh, she still believes. I think she still believes. I think Isla really believes. Like legit. Like I was like, I might want to introduce her to Christianity. Like she believes that much. Like, hey, if this makes you comfortable, you should try the Lord our Savior. You're gonna love that.
The best though about your kids at one point, and I think it was weird. Like you were like at one point you unplugged something. You're like, oh, I don't know what happened, and then you plug it like you're just playing pranks on everybody.
Oh yeah.
But at one point, I don't know which daughter it is, refers to you as son.
Isla. It's Isla. I guarantee you. She calls me bruh, son, Bertie McFuzz, Bertrude McFuzz, and Bert. Won't call me dad. Will not call me dad. And it bothered me at first.
I got you, son.
I got you, son. What's up, bruh? You come home. What's up, bruh? Not much, Isla. Yeah, that kid, man, she's a mess. Like a legit, like dyslexic, really bad. Like really bad.
But you said you were too, and you didn't realize.
Yeah. clearly that worked itself out.
Hey, Bert, how many tiles in the bathroom?
Poor Clint Munn, man. He had this thing called the perfect cigarette, where he had to find the perfect cigarette. I mean, this is like and you could plant seeds in his head. And it was all about OCD. He had to buy a perfect pack of cigarettes. The cigarette had to come out perfectly. Right song had to be on the thing. He had to light it, and he had to smoke it, and the song had to end right at the end of the cigarette.
Oh, my God.
And then you could plant seeds. You'd be like, yeah, but, I mean, the perfect cigarette technically would happen in Georgia, right? And he'd be like, maybe I should drive to Georgia tonight to do it. It's a good call. It's a good call. And, like, I wonder what he's doing now. I think, why do I say people's real names? I need to stop that. I need to just say fake names and be cool with it.
You don't like to lie.
I feel like the real name makes it better. Does that make sense?
Not to the real person, it probably doesn't.
It does not. I found that the hard way when I wrote a book. And called Jenny Powers a whore. And apparently she just emailed me. Apparently you can read my book with your Facebook open and see everyone I'm talking about. And Jenny Powers like emailed me and was like, hey, I heard I got a mention in your book. And I was like, oh, please say you didn't read it. I wrote back, I was like, no, all good things, I'm sure. And then she wrote back, apparently being called a whore is a good thing. And the best is my buddy just came out of rehab, and he was like, I'm saying that because the amount of honesty that you come out of rehab with is enlightening to people that live in this world.
Right.
But when he came out and he was like, and I was like, yeah, he was like, I heard you read a book, and I was like, oh, thanks. He was like, yeah. I go, I called Jenny Powers a whore, and he was like, yeah, she was. I go, really? He goes, yeah, come on, man. She remembers high school, right? But it was like, he was like, are we really talking about high school? Like the way he looked at life. He's like, are we really talking about high school right now? Come on, man. Yeah, we all were bad people. I just got out of rehab, okay? Who cares? Are we really going to talk about this right now? Yeah, you can look through my Facebook and read my book and see everyone's name and face and exactly what they look like.
The other thing that I liked, which we'll kind of switch, is because I didn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
I want to, though, is Titus.
Dude,
how messed up. Just a little snippet that's in there. Holy crap.
Man, his life is different.
Yes.
I mean, he's one of those guys that we would go to share a story. He said to me one of the most beautiful things. Like, we get done the podcast and we go out in my front yard and we're talking. And I'm doing a TV show with one of my buddies.
Right.
My buddy's very successful, and he said, I want to do a TV show with you. Don't worry. I'm going to pay for it. We're going to shoot it. We're going to sell it. Don't worry. We'll do it that way. And I thought, this is a guy I've known my whole life. I won't say his name because he will get upset. But I've known him my whole life since we were like 12, probably. And he works on the biggest shows in television.
Right.
And I said, I don't want to ruin that relationship. I don't need it. This is my friend. And Chris Titus was like, and the way he said, he goes, man, there's people living really horrible existences. And if you have an opportunity to do something great, do something with your friend, who cares, man? You got to look at this, like, and you just looked at him, and you're like, this is a kid that ran away when he was 12, got on a plane by himself, flew out to...
Dude, the whole hitchhiking story was unbelievable.
I mean, his mom killed herself. I think his dad's been in prison.
Right.
He's been sober since he was 17. He's done it all himself. He doesn't look back at his life and go, hey, I really appreciate the leg up. No one gave him a leg up.
Right.
Ever in his life. I look at that and like, that guy was inspirational. I sat and talked to him. The podcast is amazing. Probably one of the most downloaded as of late. I talked to him for about 2.5 hours, and then we talked for a half an hour in my front yard.
Right.
And he told me how to work story, because I work story different than he does.
Right.
He's one of the best storytelling comics out there. The way he works story is, he goes, I communicate story through emotion.
Right.
I feel like if I lead with emotion and then the comedy follows, then it's a good story. And I need an end. That's the way I write story is I go, what's the emotion? Like when I tell the scuba diving story, it's all about fear. About fear, and when I do the skydiving with Rachel Ray, it's about, a lot of my stories are about fear. And then I sprinkle in jokes, but I lead with emotion. He was like, the emotion's going to tell itself. He's like, take fact out of the story, all the facts. And he goes, we were talking about the scuba diving story. He goes, give me a fact. It was my front yard. And I said, it was storming that day. We were in Fiji, it was storming. And he goes, oh, probably the same weather that the shipwreck you're going to look at was in that day. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. and so he's like, just keep writing jokes. Write the facts of the story. What was the boat look like? It was tin. Why were you in a tin boat?
Right.
And so he dissected it, and I was like, oh my God. And then I just started tearing through material because I was like, oh, I forgot you're supposed to just write jokes. Like I was trying to emote these stories to people,
Right.
and getting convoluted in the fact that they're here to see a comedy show. And I was just like, the jokes will show up. That's how I wrote The Machine Story. It's all about emotion. It's about telling the story.
Right.
And I told it on stage for probably a year before it got funny.
Right. But that's you, though. But you don't have to do it
The way-
Titus's way.
I don't have to do it Titus's way, but it's nice to find out the way other people do it.
Right.
Like, because I have different nuances in my story. I love good endings to a story. If a story doesn't have a good ending, you can't. It doesn't belong on stage.
Right.
A lot of people tell stories that are long-winded and then go, and then I just graduated college. And like it needs a good ending, you know,
Right.
like the Tracy Morgan story. That's
Right.
how you get out of paying a check. That's the best ending. I mean, that happened in real life. I could never write that.
Right.
If I wrote that, I don't need to be in this business. I could just write screenplays for the rest of my life.
Right.
He did that. I witnessed that. Tony Woods and I sat there and literally were like. And I remember looking at Tony Woods with our mouths open as he just walked down the street. And I was like, that was maybe the greatest thing I've ever just witnessed. And Tony was like, are you coming with us? I was like, no, I'm done. The story's over. I'm going home now. It's so I always write it backwards. Like I look at great stories like The Usual Suspects and Sixth Sense. Those are stories that the ending is like, oh, what?
Right.
And so I would like that's Ron White's Tater Salad story.
Right.
One of the best stories ever. Why is it? Because he's telling you one story in order to tell you another so that he
Right.
can finish the first. That's genius. I mean, I don't think he meant to do it that way.
Right.
I think it just came out that way. But when you start really, and I told you the last time I talked to you, I'm really in stand-up mode.
Right.
But when you really start working story out, you really like. It becomes obsessive, and it's all about putting on a good show. But The Machine Story, that's my best story ever. Why? It just happens.
Right.
That's how I got out of it. But the problem with that story, I didn't feel that. So I understand you're the machine was the big enough ending.
Right.
And now I feel like I have it. I have a better ending, and it's just to add in one thing with a callback at the end, and it's perfect. Ta-da!
Done.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You know the podcast that was really good. Well, I mean, not that Titus was.
No,
I didn't
yeah.
hear. Tommy Johnigan.
Dude,
I love Tommy Johnigan.
he was so insecure. He was so insecure
really
about
is.
it. Yeah, he was like, I don't do these, man. Like I do radio. I can do radio, but I don't do these.
Right.
I mean, the one thing I go, what do you mean? Just do it the same thing. And he goes, no, I do bits on radio. I go, what do you mean? And he goes, I trick them. I do bits, but I trick them. And I go, like what? And he goes, like my girlfriend's got 2 kids. I go, you're not married? And he goes, well, who's going to marry a girl with 2 kids?
Right.
Like he just slid it in.
Right.
And we were talking, and I go, that's so great. But man, he is. I don't know if you heard this in podcast, but he's one of the first guys I saw live where I was like, okay, now I have to redefine the way I look at stand-up.
Right.
Because I thought I was a murderer on stage. I thought I was so funny, I could kill. And then I went and I worked with him, and he was featuring for me, and I saw him destroy without cursing, without ever taking the mic out of the mic stand, without
Right.
ever moving and just getting off stage, and was murderous. And I was like, that guy is a genius writer.
He's
And
so good.
He's so good, and he's focused, and he's like, he parties, but he doesn't like get out of control. He's working on a sitcom for CBS, I think.
Right.
He's amazing, man.
But one thing that came out in that, you guys were talking about like other comics and like how you can go see a comic night after night, but when you see one where it's just a little bit off, and I mean, and you know I love him. When you told the story about Geraldo doing the set laying on the ground,
Yeah.
and I mean, obviously you realize where that comes from. He was messed up. But still, oh my God, I can't even imagine what that was like.
Yeah. Geraldo, I would never. It's tough because I have really great Geraldo stories, and I love that guy. He was
Right.
one of the first people in the city that was very sweet to me.
Right.
Him and Bill Burr were the 2 people that just happened to be very sweet to me because I got into a deal early. Both of them got into deals early, and they just kind of were like, "Listen, don't tell anyone what money you're making. Don't tell them where it's going to be. Just keep your head low, smile, never act like you're better because you're young and you're not."
Right.
But man, I talked to him on the phone one time, and he was telling me about this story, and but those stories, those broken stories, those stories of the night where you get out of control and you're crying in a limousine,
Right.
and someone catches you. Those are the stories I think are the best. Like hearing that story about him, and he's like, "This room's spinning too much. I'm gonna have to lay on my back and do stand up."
Right.
And just sitting there and doing his whole set on his back. Dude, I'd pay more money for that. Mitch at the end, like I got to be honest with you, I'm sad that he was addicted to drugs and he died. But
Right.
man, Mitch, the stories of him bombing, where he gets behind the curtain and just does his set behind the curtain,
Right.
those are even better. That's the beauty of stand up, in my opinion.
Right.
I think. I don't know. I'll have one of those shows today. Just laying on my back. Like first time I came here, I fell off the stage. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, I came here and here's the thing. I came here and I did I was with Jameson Comedy Tour, and I didn't even drink really, because I was sick.
Right.
I remember I came in and I sweat.
Oh, yeah. No, you were sweating a lot. You also wrecked the toilet.
Yeah, I wrecked the toilet. I was sweating, and I didn't even really drink that night, but I fell off stage. And I came back the next time, and it was the next time I came in, and I think all the shows sold out very quickly. And I think we drank on radio, but I was like, I got a good night's sleep. Thursday night, I'm walking into the club, and there's this girl in line, and she goes, I hear her say at the DC Improv, she goes, I'm just curious. The last time I was here, Bert fell off stage. Is he going to be that drunk again? And I wasn't drunk,
right?
But I didn't know how to handle that. And I went, okay, come on, Bert. This is what you do for a living. I get in the green room and I'm like, no booze tonight. Let's do a good show. All material. This girl, everyone deserves it. What are you, the Elephant Man? Like, let's do a great show. I get on stage and shots start getting sent, like always at the DC Improv. Just shot after shot after shot. And I'm like, no, I'm not drinking. And everyone's like, drink it. And I'm like, I'm not drinking. Drink it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I go, listen. I got to be dead honest with you, okay? There's a girl that I heard in line complain about the last time I was here, I fell off stage because I was so drunk. And she goes in the back, I wasn't complaining. I want you to get that drunk again. And I was like, okay. And I just started murdering shots. I was like, guys, I'm falling off stage again. I've fallen off stage a couple times. Tampa Improv's like a tiered stage, and I fell down some steps like. All
right, let me do this. Let me take a quick break. More with Bert Kreischer next.
Elliot in the morning.
I did a podcast. It's just me,
right,
drinking by myself in the man cave, listening to music, and then you hear me talking over the music, just
right.
like this is what it's about. This is life right here. It's creepy, and so I then, assess my evening, and I have therapy in the morning. So I get on therapy, and I was like, man, he's like, how was the week? I was okay. I got a weird event last night. I just got weird. Like, I just drank a bottle of wine and got in my man cave, smoked a cigar, listened to music, and it was like, I feel like I get these, like, almost what bipolar people get, but just the high. I don't get the low.
Right.
And I go, and he goes, okay, what's wrong with that? And I said, I don't know, like, but it's just weird to be by yourself and dancing and like, I cried a couple times.
Right.
And he was like, nah, man, you got to get weird. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, love it, man. Listen, if you need to dip out from your family and go drink in the man cave by yourself, you got to do it. And I was like, yeah. How much are we paying you? Are you sure my wife knows what we're talking about? The best is I told my wife, I can't talk about that.
What?
I'll tell him it anyway. So I brought home a check one time that I was good money. I was excited about it. And I told it to my wife, and she just said, she was like, I said, how cool is that? We got that much money from one weekend of work. And she was like, it's not that much. And I went, that's a lot. Like, trust me, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then my therapist goes, well, how much does she make? I just love that. And then my wife goes, hey, you can't talk to my therapist about me like that. Like, he's going to think I'm a jerk. And I was like, I'm allowed to tell my therapist whatever I want. We have our own little personal relationship. He's the best.
I just love that you FaceTime with the guy.
I FaceTime with him once a week on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. And my gardener comes and blows the backyard. Like, that. Yeah, way to go, Diane. Get your hand in the gutter. He just comes in the backyard and blows it. Me and my therapist just get irate. We're like, seriously? This guy's got nothing. And he'll just come walk in the middle of my therapy. Bert, how you doing? And I'm like, great. I'm in therapy. He's like, okay, me too.
By the way, I love how you say my gardener comes.
Yeah.
There's no garden.
No.
What is he gardening? That's a leaf blower.
He just leaf blows. He just has a jet ski on his back, and he just and interrupts my therapy, and now I'm shouting, I have issues with my dad!
Hey, what was the show that you were doing where there was you play the audio, but it's all it's just one like still shot of four of you up on stage.
Oh.
And it's just the audio, and you're wearing like some kind of like ski hat, and all they do is just rip on you. And you can hear you from time to time laughing.
Yeah.
Like you can tell you're not mad, but it's hysterical.
It's Doug Loves Movies. It is the first Doug Love Movies of the year.
Oh, is it really?
It's January,
oh, okay.
I think January 2nd.
Right.
And it's me, Patton Oswalt, Jeff Tate, and a woman, I'm going to mess up her name, Andres Vermeul.
Okay.
And And I thought I looked cool. Like I was in like a sweatshirt with a hood, with like a vest, like a North Face vest, and like a little ski toboggan. I thought I looked cool. It's like an alternative comedy club. You can't wear like a collared shirt. Patton Oswalt shows up in a collared shirt. I remember when he walked into the green room, he looked at me and he like looked at my clothes. I thought he was sizing me up. He looked at me at my outfit. And I was like, hey, Patton, I'm Bert. And he goes, no, I know who you are. He's like, I follow your Periscope. And I go, okay. And he's like, yeah, I know about your dog, about your wife. I know everything about you. I go, oh, cool. And I was, I think you're hilarious. It's like, thanks. And I'm looking at him, look at me. I was like, I wonder what he's looking at. Then we get on stage, and he proceeds to dismantle what I'm wearing. Like, he literally, and he's so funny, you can't deny his humor.
It's hysterical.
It is brilliant. And he's like, oh, guys, we got to wrap this up. Bert's got to get back on an oyster cracker box. Yeah. Hey, Bert, how are the crab potholes today? Like, he just starts, topping those trees. Like, he just destroys me for 20 minutes, and I'm just laughing. And I get to a point where I realize I've laughed so much I can't talk because the audience doesn't want to hear me talk. They just want to hear people make fun of me. So I just drank a bottle of wine on stage and just didn't say a word the whole time. I just drank a bottle of wine and just laughed at Patton Oswalt. And then he gets done, and he was like, he's the sweetest guy in the world. He's like, hey, I want to do your podcast. And I was like, okay. I was like, oh, done. Are you kidding me? I got to introduce you to my kids. We're going to go, it's the rat from Ratatouille. Shut up, Dad. How did you meet the rat? Yeah, it was me, Patton Oswalt, Doug Benson. Doug Benson has that. I have that relationship with him where he just makes fun of me from the second. But it's so funny because I don't think I put this in there, but if you listen to that podcast, the Doug Loves Movies one, you hear me say, I'd been talking to my therapist about people making fun of me, and I don't know whether they like me. Should I stand up for myself at a time? Because I don't really mind it, but does that mess with my self-esteem?
Right.
And he was like, well, give me an example. And I was like, I can't really think of it. And then in the middle of that podcast, I go, I got an example for him. So I told him in therapy, hey, listen to this, and that's what I'm talking about.